Today's notes are going to be talking about square footage on different properties that we'll be looking at. So for our first floor plan from Gabriella's, she's trying to carpet her living room, except for the quarter circle shown in the corner. That's where she wants to actually put wood flooring because she wants to be able to put her piano there. The radius of the quarter circle is going to be 8 feet. And then if carpeting costs $9.55 per square foot, we want to see how much it will actually cost to carpet the section of her living room that she wants to. So we're going to go ahead and start finding the actual area first, because we have a rectangle here. So the area of our rectangle we actually have is our length times our width, which actually is our 25 feet times our 16 feet. And when we actually multiply our 25 times 16, we end up getting our 400, and we are in feet squared is our actual dimension there. That's a little 2. So we have 400 feet squared for our living room. However, we need to figure out that quarter of a circle. So I do know that the area of our circle is our pi r squared. And they already told us what our radius was in our problem here, and it's 8 feet, so I'm going to do pi times 8 squared. So we end up getting, if you actually multiply 8 times 8, you get 64, and then times pi, you're going to have 201.06. And again, this is feet squared. So then now, what we need to do, this is for a full circle. I have a quarter of a circle, so I need to divide this amount by 4. And then when I actually divide that by 4, then the area of that quarter circle is going to be 50.27 feet squared. Let's just write feet. Feet squared. Okay, so I'm going to be working with this value and my 400 value. So remember that she does not want carpet in this quarter of a circle right here, so we are going to take her 400 feet squared that she does want carpeted, and we're going to subtract that quarter of a circle out of the living room. So we get 349.73. So you're gonna probably approximate the square footage because you don't walk into the store and say I need 349.73 inches or feet of carpet, please. You're going to round up and you just say I need 350 square feet of carpet. Okay, so then if I need 350 square feet, we need to figure out the price of it now. So carpet's going for $9.55. So now that we know the amount we need, we are just going to multiply our 350 times of that 9.55 in order to get our cost. And we see that we are going to be having $3,342.50 in order to carpet that living room. So I'm just going to write a complete sentence actually describing our actual answer. So it will cost $3,342.50 to carpet the living room. All right, so that's our first example there. This says carpet. Okay, so for our example number 2, we're going to have a similar situation here. The Delgados landscape design is building a large deck in the backyard. So it is in the shape as shown in the diagram. So this is probably their house that they're going to be here, but they're going to be building this deck in that whole shaded area. So they want to know how much wood they need to purchase to actually build that deck. So if it costs $14 per square foot for a special type of wood, then we need to find the cost of this again. So we are going to be determining the actual value. So we actually have a rectangle here. So the area of a rectangle, again, we're going to have our length times our width, and our length is 12 and our width is 8. So when we actually multiply these, we get our 96, and we are in centimeters. This wouldn't be a real actual image. Centimeters squared. It should probably be feet like we were in on our last example. Okay, but then we also have this portion missing where the house is. So this is actually, we know that this is a square because we have 4 centimeters and 4 centimeters, which means that these two sides will also be congruent. So if we find the area of a square, it's the same thing. We do length times width, so we have 4 times 4, which equals 16. Well, now we need to subtract out that 16 centimeters squared. So if we have 96 minus 16, we are going to have our 80 centimeters squared. So now we're going to take that 80 centimeters and we are going to determine the cost of this. So if we have, let's just actually do the cost on the next page. So if we have our 80 centimeters, we are now going to multiply it by the cost, which was $14 per square foot. We're just going to pretend that those centimeters were square feet for this example. I just couldn't get an actual image to represent this as well as I wanted to. So now we need 120, and we could even just say feet squared here. So we need 120 square feet, or sorry, that's going to be the cost. I already did we only need 80 feet. So 120 dollars. Let's make a real sentence here. Okay, so it will cost $1,120 to build the deck. Alright, you guys, so that is it for our square footage that I wanted us to go off of. And we will practice this in class a little bit more. See you then.